Today I want to talk about contouring the face. It can be such a confusing topic, but I just want to really simplify it for everybody. So what I'm going to do first though is I'm just putting on some of this Revlon. This is a serum tint and this is in the shade 317. Just using my large BK Beauty, it's a foundation brush in the 101. So I just want to get this on nice and quick. This is a really nice sort of affordable foundation and it is just a tint, so it just offers that little bit of glow. I didn't want to put too much foundation on today because I really want to just discuss how to contour your face and your own face, like get the best out of your particular features. So I'm just sweeping this in. It's such a nice product. This is really easy to use and this brush is just gorgeous. My skin has quite a nice little glow to it at the minute. I have just used the Sonzi range of skincare. This is Pamela Anderson's skincare range. It is beautiful. I have found that I really like it. It's really straightforward, easy to use. Each product just has some really nice ingredients and they do exactly what they say they do. So if you want to check them out, they'll be in my link under Sonzi skincare. So there we have, I'll just quickly place on the base. So let's begin with the contouring. So whenever I do a makeup workshop or a personal one-on-one, the contouring really becomes such a hard topic and no one really knows where to start. Now I've created an online course that just sort of delves a little bit deeper into this, and it's all about like having a really good look at your face and just checking the shape of your face. You can actually get on apps now and they'll tell you exactly what shape you are. So for my face, for instance, it is more oval, slightly squarer through the jawline. So when you're looking at your face, you just want to look at quite a few factors, you know, how big or small your forehead is, how high or low your cheekbones are, how pointy your chin is, how square your jaw is. So there's all these little aspects that will take into account how you contour your face. Now, the easiest sort of formula that I use, and I call it the number 3. So if you can remember the number 3, you'll better remember how to contour your face. Now the number 3 is a big 3 that starts here in the middle and it goes all the way around your face like that. So what you've got to remember is this big number 3, okay? Now, depending on your face shape is depending on how big or small this number 3 might be, okay? So we're going to take my face shape because this is what we're working with right now. And I have quite a decent forehead, you know, it's not short and it's not too big either, okay? But what I'd like to do is create some sort of framing on my forehead. So I'm going to start, I'll just do this half first. I'm going to start my number 3 up here. I'm using a contour stick. You can use your powders or your contour creamy sticks. I find the cream sticks are a really good way to start because you can see exactly where you're gonna place that contour. So I'm gonna start here and I'd like to start my 3 there, okay? Now, when I said the 3, I actually brought it down here, didn't I? But for me, if you look at my temples, they actually do go in a little bit. So I kind of don't want them to disappear any further than they are. So my number 3 is going to go there and I'm going to skip this bit and then go for the inner part of the number 3 here. Now, our contour has actually got higher than it used to be. We used to contour right down here. You can see that line there we used to do. And this is where the contour was, top of the ear, corner of the mouth. So everything now is starting to lift, okay? We want to create lift in our face, especially with being a little bit more mature. We want everything to go a little bit higher. So we're going to start right up here, so where the top of the ear is. And kind of like, this is where my cheekbone is, right? This is the top of the cheekbone, this is the middle part of the cheekbone, and this is under the cheekbone. We actually want to be on the cheekbone. So my number 3, the middle part, is going to go from here, and I'm going to bring it just to here where my eye starts, just in there, okay? A really decent stripe. So that's my sort of the middle of my 3. If I had a very narrow face or quite a slim face, I'd probably stop a little bit further out because what it will do is it'll actually gaunt your face in. So be very wary. And this is why you need to take a really good hard look at your face and your features. The next part of the 3 is going down under here. So we're looking at the jawline and the chin, okay? My chin's not too pointy, so I don't really need that. I don't have a double chin, so I don't need to put, if you do have a double chin, a little bit of color under here will help sort of knock that away. What I do want to sort of look, and it's sort of coming through now as I age, is these like little jowls, those little bits where our skin starts to sort of sag a little bit here. So with my 3, I want to just go there, right? So that way it's going to really knock that jowl off, and then I'll have residual coming through here to give me a little bit of shape through my jawline. Now the nose is a different area to contour, so I'm doing literally one side of my face so we can see. So for me, I feel the end of my nose is probably a little bit larger. Look, if we're going to be really picky, and we are quite critical with ourselves, so I'd probably like to just go right here and go straight up there. I have to be careful, my nose is actually a little bit broken underneath, so I gotta be careful I don't bend it. And then the nub of my nose is a little bit sort of fat, so I wouldn't mind contouring a little bit of that as well. The other area you can contour is your eyes. So this is making your makeup nice and simple, and what we want to do with the eyes is we'd like to contour the socket line here, again, just to create some shape. But you do need to look about where your eyes are in your head. If your eyes are really close set, like they're closer to the middle, you don't want to contour all the way in because you'll bring them too far in. So what you want to do is bring your contour a little bit further out here to give the illusion that they're a little bit less close set. And the same applies to if your eyes are quite wide set. I wouldn't bring out the contour too far because you'll end up with your eyes on the side of your head. So I'm going to place, and this is quite a large product to place in here, but you'll notice when we blend it out, it blends to nothing. So I'm sticking it in this outer corner, just in the crease, but up high because I want to create a little bit of lift, or a little bit of illusion of lift. Then once you've got your product in place, you're going to grab a brush. It could be just the same foundation brush you used before, just wipe it off, or something a little bit different, something similar to this. And what you'll do is you just want to blend it into your face. And you're just doing this. And it seems like she's not doing anything, but you're just pushing it in where you placed it. Now I made sure mine was quite prominent so that you could see it. So we may end up being a little darker than we should be, but once I blend this in and push it in, it's going to just disappear quite beautifully. Now, what you'll notice, I'm going to be really careful near my hairline because it's quite grey, so we don't want to get colour in there, is I am just staying exactly where I placed it, and I'm trying to dissipate that colour. Once I've done that a little bit, then I can start sort of sweeping it a little bit. See, I'll be very careful with that hairline. And then maybe the residual through here, you know. If you find, like mine, it's a little bit dark, just come in with your foundation brush and just soften off that edge, you know. Don't worry if you make a little mistake. It can just be buffed out. It's a little bit darker. So then on here, same thing applies. We're just pushing this in to where that cheekbone is. We're not pulling it forward or anywhere else. We're just sticking it right there because that's where we wanted it. And we don't want to drag it around the face. We just want it just there. So that's created a really nice, you can see here, I have to be very, very careful with this hairline because it is light. So it's something you need to watch. So just placing that in. Same with the jowl, I'm just going to tap that in, and then with the residual, I'm just going to make sure we blend it out so there's no lines and it's nice and soft. So already you can see that this side of the face is warming up, but it's also taking shape. And I'm going to go down the nose and just blend this out. Possibly too big a brush for this, but you know, sometimes you don't have the option to just grab a whole heap of brushes. I'll just make sure that I haven't got them center my nose. And then same, I would possibly grab a smaller brush for this area and just blend that through the crease, up and out. And that will give you, you can even connect these two here if you wish, if you're going down your nose. When in doubt, don't worry about your nose. I think it's more just thinking about this large number 3 that's going to create all of that nice contour on the face. So then we're going to go into and do the other side. So our number 3 starting through there, it's coming through here. Don't worry if it's not completely perfect, doesn't matter. Through there, and then we're going up the side of the nose as well, and then a little bit into the eye socket there and bringing that out. Same thing, get the brush and just push that into where it's going, really blend it in. And what we'll do after this is I'll show you the highlight section as well, because that will really show you how we can bring this contour out as well. Just bring it through there. So I probably got a little bit much on my forehead maybe, but once my hair is down, we'll show you at the end, you really don't see all that. Just pressing that in. Same on the jawline, press it in. So just press it where it is, and then with your residual on the brush, make sure you've got none of those strong sort of lines down the nose. And the other thing with contouring, it's not just the contouring, it sort of also warms up your face as well, you know, it gives it that little bit of life, bit of colour. And then I'm just going back in with that large foundation brush and just making sure that, especially on my forehead, I feel like, because I'm so light in that hairline, just making sure that that's blended in nicely. Now, another little trick to help with your contouring, to really bring it forward or make it more defined, is to get, this is like, it's called the Maybelline, it's a lifter. So it's like a concealer, it's like a foundation sort of stick. So we're just going to, and I'm only adding a small amount because I don't want to have too much on my face, but this will just kind of do the opposite to what we've just done. So we're going to start in the middle, and we're just going to put a little bit of lightness through the middle, because then that'll really complement where we've put the dark. We're going to go under here as well, so that will help lift that side. Same with under the cheeks here, and instantly you can see how that's carved out the cheeks. I'll also go through here. It's nice to have it quite flat through here. It makes your face look a little bit fuller, a little bit on the cupid's bow, and a little bit here. So same technique as before, it's just take your brush and just work that into the skin exactly where you placed it, and see instantly that will help bring out or sort of redefine that contour that you've done and just make it even more prominent. Again, just using your big brush with that was your foundation, and just make sure that any of those edges are soft, so that there isn't kind of, you can't see where you've stopped or started. Same on the other side. I'm just going to go there, a little bit there, just to flatten that out, and then bring that through there. I do like these lifter sticks, they're quite easy to use, and that payoff is beautiful, good coverage. And see how that just instantly makes that cheekbone stand out a little bit up here, all about lift. And down the nose. Okay, so there you have it. That is how I would contour my face. Now, if you have any questions, please just jump in and make a comment. I do have now listed under my link tree, I have my online course where you'll get all the sort of information in depth, real time, and you'll also get a complimentary one-on-one Zoom with me to see where you're at, and we can just make sure you are contouring in the right places. So let me know what you think. Yeah, thanks.